talking about the Bangalore team. They were third in the points table. This, of course, is former India captain Virat Kohli is leading them in T20. It's true. Why are you laughing, Joe? It's correct.
It's not yet former India captain. He's still got a
former
T20 World Cup.
T20. Soon to be former T20. Yeah.
Everyone is soon to be former. Let's put it that way.
Everyone's soon.
Okay.
We're all soon to be former. Gee, Joy, that line should have been on the blurb of a bestseller, not just delivered just like that to the laugh.
We just gave that pearl away for nothing. It's for nothing. We are worthless, sir. Why give to us? Give to the world. Take 1 rupee from everyone you give this to. Oh, geez, yes. That's when people say that no, the planet is not dying. I'm like, wait, I got news for you. Everything and everyone is dying. But Bangalore's chances, well, they're not dying. They've come alive. And the fans are super happy about that because this year they look like solid contenders. Yes, they played a couple of finals before. But this year there's just something which looks very settled about them. And I think most importantly, it was always felt like it was a 2-horse race, right? It always felt like it was AB de Villiers and Virat Kohli. It was two shoulders that were carrying all the weight. The first half of the season that was played in April, Harsha suddenly felt like, okay, fine, there's more. There's more shoulders.
No, the reason I was laughing was when you get Sri Lankans in your team, many things happen. Suddenly in Sri Lanka, the popularity goes up. What is the first thing that happens when you get 2 Sri Lankans in the team? Can we get that the team list up again? You'll find that 2 names are in very small font because you've got to get the whole name into that one column. So Dushmanta Chamira and Hasaranga. Oh, you got your producer sitting there again. Look what happens with Vanindu Hasaranga and Dushmanta Chamira. Suddenly, you've got to do that. But I think both are excellent picks. The question now is, what happens when Washington Sundar goes out? The moment Washington Sundar, because he's not available, if you replace Washington Sundar with Vanindu Hasaranga, then that's one more overseas player. They're going to play 3 overseas players anyway, because they're going to play 3 are fixed, AB, Maxwell and Jamieson. Jamieson will get bounced here in Abu Dhabi as well. Now, who is the 4th? And they've made some really good picks because they've got this guy called George Garton from England. There's a lot of people have been talking about George Garton for a very long time. He bowls. There's a batting side to him. Excellent T20 bowler, can really let it rip. You can play Garton. You can play Chamira. You can play Hasaranga. Or they've got somebody else. Hang on, they've got somebody else, and I'm missing somebody here.
Traffic Lau.
And that Tim David's a good player. Tim David has been brought in as backup to as backup to Maxwell. Should something happen to Maxwell, so they've got some, and they can play Dan Christian. So they've got 4 contenders for that one number 7 slot. So I mean, Hasaranga is a fantastic player, and in course of time, Karunaratne is going to be picked as well.
Of course, very important, Joy. This is an important one for Chahal as well. Well, there you go. Hasaranga, of course, being rewarded for the
scoring
29 that he showed.
7 wickets.
Yeah, the promise that he showed. He showed a little bit of promise. I remember. Actually, I don't remember that series. I really don't. It's a little difficult. It's a little difficult that Colombo Stadium. Even if you saw the T20s that were played against South Africa now, it's a little cumbersome to watch in that Colombo Stadium. I just
have to remember that series because next man in was the assistant physio
for India.
India had only 11. People started asking if Rahul Dravid was spotted in the net. So you have to remember that series.
I remember that there were, I think, 6 or 7 debuts that were done in the third T20I.
Everybody played,
Yeah, you remember it for reasons besides cricket, basically that. But Joy, for Chahal, this is definitely a kind of point to prove kind of 7 games for Chahal, right? Because not being picked for the T20 World Cup for a time when you were saying, oh, you pick 7-8 players, that's one name you'll write down surely. Then he doesn't get picked. When 5 spinners are going in that squad, that's got to hurt.
It's definitely going to hurt. And my point is that it took, while he's had a slow descent, I think it's the last tournament that's really given it away from him. And he's a very, I mean, my point is he's a good bowler. He's a smart bowler, and I think once they go back to Dubai, especially when they're playing at Dubai and Abu Dhabi, those pitches, the size of the pitches will be really suitable for him. I think Chahal's going to do well for them. The other person I now see playing at least most of the matches from here on is Shahbaz Ahmed, because they need a spinner come batsman, somebody who can bat at 6 or 7 and a spinner who gives them something. So if Washington Sundar is out and they want to maintain that same kind of balance, expect Shahbaz to play a lot more matches.
They have openings at 3 and 6, Joy. They had Rajat Patidar. Now, if Shahbaz Ahmed plays 6, now if Shahbaz Ahmed's giving you some overs of spin, then you don't need to play one into Hasaranga. You can actually play someone like Dan Christian in there, who will give you two or three overs, but no game is over till Christian isn't out, because he's such a fearsome finisher. So they can play someone like that, or they'll say we just back our batting, man, and play the extra bowler. So they've given themselves a lot of options. I actually believe the newcomers in this side have strengthened the side compared to what they had before. The question is, number 3, they need someone to keep it going there. And can Virat Kohli up that strike rate? I mean, Virat Kohli shouldn't be batting at 120, 121, 122, because he's gone up to open the batting for a reason. So, I mean, Virat has to come back either the top of the order or 3, doesn't matter where, and just deliver and play like Virat Kohli. On these pitches, he'll enjoy batting as well. I don't know what's going on in his mind. It's a slightly turbulent phase in his life. So I don't know whether the Virat Kohli who's coming into play for Bangalore is someone who's going, wow, here I am taking on the world, the alpha male, the share entering the field, or whether there's too much happening. But Virat Kohli at strike rate 120, 122 wasn't helping. Luckily for Bangalore, Maxwell and AB had fantastic tournaments. AB always has fantastic tournaments. I think that's another 99-year lease there with Bangalore and AB. But see, Maxwell 144. Finally, someone started saying, let's do a return on investment on Maxwell and let's see if he can publish it. Because all along, you could never publish it out of embarrassment. Yeah. Now he's doing it. And he's just such a good player, Maxwell. Every time you look at Maxwell, you think he's meant to play. And I think remember 2014, he did well. He'll come back here and do it. Kohli is the one I'm watching for.
Yeah, and Joy, just on Virat, I mean, what Harsha just said, it's kind of been a little weird, right? The last couple of weeks have been a little weird. Just this whole announcement, the way it's been done, it just seems, weird.
Yeah, I think 2 things, strike me immediately for whatever it's worth. Maybe because it's a bubble and therefore people can't really meet each other. There seems to be a serious communication gap between what the selectors maybe are saying and what Virat is hearing, or what Virat is saying and the selectors are listening, and it's not helping anyone. And I think in many ways, I find it interesting. I believe Virat is going to come here for whatever it's worth, though they haven't won. I think in many ways, RCB, Bangalore is a haven for him. He's going to come there and say, I'm just going to forget about everything. These guys are my guys. They have my back. I'm going to play cricket. Let's try and win the IPL. I think he's not going to think beyond that. And it's good for him because, he doesn't have the larger thoughts that are, going through everyone's minds at this stage, saying, are these guys backing me? Are they not backing me? I think he just needs to go and play some cricket and have some fun for a change.
Every time an IPL starts, Gaurav, starts, wherever Virat Kohli goes, he sees banners, Rohit Sharma 5 IPLs, Rohit Sharma 5 IPLs. I don't think you should worry about that at all. He's Virat Kohli. When you have achieved what you have as Virat Kohli, you don't have to worry about that. Those are things that should happen. If he worries about that, then I think Bangalore have an issue. But who are we to tell? I mean, Virat's a great player, but Bangalore need a little more from Kohli the batsman. Kohli the captain is fine, but they need a little more from Kohli the batsman. And if Kohli the batsman starts to deliver, then AB, Maxwell, they just become a completely different side.